After a slog of a Game 1, 3 hours and 52 minutes, officially, but it felt longer, Boston has an 8-4 win over the Dodgers with credit and a 1-0 World Series lead. 3 thoughts off the Fall Classic opener. These playoffs have been characterized by short starts throughout. Only 7 of the 28 games played before the World Series featured a start longer than 6 innings, but it was nonetheless jarring to see neither Clayton, Kershaw nor Chris Sale, with 14 All-Star appearances between them, record an out in the 5th. In Sale's case, he had racked up a high pitch count, 91, by the time he finished walking Brian Dozier to lead off the inning. Sale had been running deep counts all night, in part because he was nibbling around the corners of the plate, and in part because plate umpire Tim Timmons was squeezing him. While Dozier did come around to score, reliever Matt Barnes navigated the inning without further damage. Kershaw, meanwhile, was pulled for Ryan Madson in the bottom of the inning after walking Mookie Betts and allowing a single to Andrew Benintendi. Madson would allow both inherited runners to score. Kershaw wasn't able to keep Boston's hitters off balance. He registered only 8 swinging strikes and surrendered 4 of the night's 5 hardest hit balls. While the box score will show Kershaw had another bad postseason outing, 7 hits, 3 walks, and 5 runs in 4 innings, his defense did him no favors. In the first inning alone, David Freese whiffed on a Betts pop-up he scored, and Yasiel Puig airmailed the cutoff man on a Benintendi RBI single, allowing him to reach second. He scored 2. Dozier struggled turning a double play in that fateful 5th, while earlier in the evening Chris Taylor had been lucky to get away with a misplay and left because Benintendi didn't hustle out of the box. In the 7th, long after Kershaw had left, Jock Pederson's inability to reach a lazy Benintendi fly resulted in a double for the Red Sox outfielder. There were more mistakes I don't have time to list. The Dodgers have an admirable commitment to versatility, but when it leads to weak defense at a quirky park like Fenway, it doesn't seem quite so strategic. I mentioned that Kershaw allowed 4 of the 5 hardest hit balls all night. The other one, which was the second most smoked, was hit in the 7th, over the Green Monster, by Eduardo Nunez. His 3-run pinch hit dinger against Alex Wood salted the game away for the Sox. Eduardo Nunez is not supposed to be able to do such things. He had an adjusted UPS of 81 in 2018. Okay, he did somehow manage to hit 2 3-run homers in the regular season, and some platoon player he hit worse against lefties, .263, than he did against righties, .286. No matter. Every button Alex Cora pushes leads to pay dirt. That said, summoning Wood didn't seem to make much sense even before the home run. Pedro Baez had whiffed the 2 batters he was allowed to face, and Rafael Devers, whom Wood was brought in to face, has no pronounced platoon split. The biggest playoff surprise for Boston has to be the performance of their relievers. All season, Boston's bullpen had been good but not great, with Craig Kimbrell looking relatively human and the various bridges to him less reliable than Boston would like. All postseason, though, the Red Sox, no-name relief corps has handled its business well. Matt Barnes has allowed 1 run in 7 1/3 innings. Joe Kelly has allowed only 1 base runner in 6 1/3 innings. Nathan Eovaldi, the swingman, has been dominant, too. And when ALCS standout Ryan Brazier struggled in the 7th, in came Eduardo Rodriguez to retire Cody Bellinger. Craig Kimbrell, who has been responsible for heart palpitations from Nashua to Norwalk, pitched a 1-2-3 ninth. Boston surely wishes its starters were living up to expectations, but when the bullpen looks this good it's easy not to care.